Did you know? One of the most explosive moments in Zimbabwe's post-independence history did not begin with an election or a war, but with the price of bread. In January 1998, Zimbabwe experienced a wave of unrest as people rose against a sharp increase in the price of bread and maize meal, and this would be the beginning of the end for the post-independence honeymoon period. In Zimbabwe, maize meal and bread are more than just food. They are political and socio-economic barometers. The availability of these staples in the ordinary home means a conquest against hunger. But on the morning of Monday, 19 January 1998, the barometer exploded. Overnight, the price of maize meal had shot up by 21%. And what was worse, this was not just an isolated hike. Months prior, on Zimbabwe's own Black Friday in November 1997, there had been a 25% increase. And now, for the average family in the city, the purse strings got tighter. Now, to understand the reason behind this price hike, there is a need to look back to the policies adopted by the government in the 1990s. Earlier in the decade, Zimbabwe had adopted the Economic Structural Adjustment Program (ESAP). ESAP was meant to liberalize the economy while reducing government spending, yet instead, it had led to widespread retrenchments and rising living costs. This was then worsened by the 1997 War Veterans Payout that had not only been budgeted for, but which had cost the economy close to $4.5 billion. In addition, the government was spending millions of dollars on a war in the Democratic Republic of Congo, a war the public did not support. As such, the government was economically stretched, and someone had to bear the cost of these decisions, and these were the ordinary citizens through price hikes. But in January 1998, following the announcement of the new prices, the people rioted. The price increases were not just too steep, they had coincided with the January pressures that come with the end of the festive season and with the back to school for the New Year rush. Unlike the organized strikes of the Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Unions ZCTU in 1997, the 1998 riots were headless. They began in various high-density suburbs across the city of Harare. Commuters, already angry at rising bus fares, refused to board transportation across the city, and by mid-morning, the frustration had turned into fire. Groups of youths began barricading roads with burning tires and with boulders. Disorderly crowds targeted supermarkets, and within days, similar scenes had unfolded in Bulawayo and Gweru and other cities. Public transport was disrupted, businesses closed doors, and normal life in cities ground to a halt. The police, trained for civil order, were quickly overwhelmed. And in a shocking move, the government did something it had not done in the capital since independence. It deployed the National Army to suppress its own citizens. Soldiers, armed with AK-47s, moved into the townships. And by the end of the 4-day window period, up to the 22nd of January, at least 8 people had died, hundreds were injured, and thousands had been arrested. On the 22nd of January 1998, the government reversed the food prices, but the damage had already been done. The trust between the people and the liberators was shattered. For ordinary Zimbabweans, it seemed to be a warning. And in hindsight, January 1998 looks like a moment when underlying tensions briefly surfaced before reshaping the country's political landscape. Now, with this information in mind, I would like to hear from you. Are you old enough to remember these riots? If yes, how do you remember those days? And do you have any personal experiences you would like to share with us? Please Do put your experiences in the comments below, and do check out the video on the top right that explains in detail the events that led to the first cracks in Zimbabwe's economy. With that, let me know your thoughts, and if you can, please like, share, and subscribe. Till next week, goodbye.